all over the place. So it's like I don't fucking fight for it anymore. So I just like I have a water fountain now for him, and I was like, you know what? I just take a capsule, dump a capsule in there, and I minimize this. Oops. I was just doing a quick another one real quick. I don't know if I brought it up before or not, but I mean it's not my intention to think that maybe some people will start what just want to get by. Hopefully, it'd be great. Some people want to help out, maybe watch my content or whatever. You know what I mean? And it gets big enough and I can get somewhat monetized. That'd be really cool. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm just trying to do. I think what everybody else is trying to do. What they've. I think any kid with sense that was raised right. Anyways, because I know some people just have horrible upbringings. But when you find out that Santa Claus is mom wrapping presents in the middle of the night with your grandmother, or whatever the case, your mom and your dad by himself, whoever, your grandparents wrapping the presents in the middle of the night, and you're like, man, you know what I mean, and just all the stuff they do for you in general, you're just like, you want to pay them back, and that's all you want to do is take care of them and pay them back. And that's why, like, when I express, I'm like, I've had 45 jobs since I was a kid. Like, dude, I just was like, when you're a little kid, you're just like, oh, cool, I can buy my own Game Boy now. You know what I mean? And shit like that. But, like, when you're 14 years old and stuff, like, I had no sense of understanding how to save and this. And it was just one job after another. Just one hope and dream after another. That's why, like, I don't have any, like, big intentions for anything, and I don't have, like when I go out there, people are like, oh, don't expect anything from comedy, I'm like, I'm not, I just get my time on set, too, every once in a while, on stage and stuff, I know you gotta pay your dues and get known, and, work your way up and figure out how this actually works and how you're supposed to do it and all that. I understand it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I couldn't go out today. I had to take care of Lulu. When your butthole bursts open, it's like you gotta help take care of that. Yeah, I think he's done seeping really bad all over the place anymore now. I keep wiping him. I got these wipes, just keep making sure he's all right. But like I said before, hopefully I reach a couple people and they like what I have to say, and people want to help, fund me, support me somehow, some way, by watching my content. Maybe I get ad revenue, or somebody wants to donate. Maybe I can do, I don't know, Kickstart stuff or something. I don't know. But like I said, not trying to make it. If lightning in a bottle happens and you go beyond the niche, or even if if I'm a big part of my niche or whatever it is, whatever. I just I if I'm I just want to be good enough. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to help take care of all this. Like my bills aren't much. I got a $950. It was supposed to be 835, but after blah blah blah, it's 950, and then utilities and blah blah blah. So, you know, I probably need to make like $2,000 a month, like to really survive. You know what I mean? Like to take care of the apartment, to take care of Lulu. You know what I mean? I'm willing to hustle. So these just don't work as good no more. But I'm willing to move and to get the job done, do what I gotta do. I gotta start busting out my total gym, like I said before. I've just been so damn, I don't know. It's just like one thing after another, and it's just like I just want to sit and do nothing. And I'm just making excuses, being lazy, and starting to snack and bullshit too much. And when I first got here, I was starting to get in shape and lose weight a little bit, and then like stuff just got happening, and it's just like, oh well, I'm just gonna eat this because just get over myself, whatever, blah blah blah. But really, like now that I finally got everything in order, and I have, I mean, there's still some things that need to be fixed, but I have some sort of system and routine now. eat like a super cheap budget, and I cook for my dog every day, cause he's all like, I eat the scraps. You know what I mean? But the scraps, there's a little more of different things of the scraps and whatnot for me, and I make sure he gets plenty of meat. But I go back and forth between London broil and chicken. I'll take a whole chicken and boil it, and pick it clean, and then I'll get like a couple London broils, like like 3 pounds or 4 pounds or so or of London broil, and I'll cut it up in pieces, and I'll put it in the freezer. And each day, I pull out a portion and let it thaw out. And I have cauliflower. It's a different cauliflower every time. Right now I have the green cauliflower, but next time it'll be the white cauliflower, and then the red, and then the orange. I just rotate through between them and through them. And then there's broccoli, and then there's sweet potatoes and string beans. I cut them up, and carrots, and I roast pumpkin seeds in the oven. I got a pestle and mortar to grind them up, and I put them in like a spice seasoning shaker. It used to be like jalapeno spices, but I cleaned it out really good, and I just put it. I labeled it pumpkin-inny, so I sprinkled the pumpkin-inny. It's time for the pumpkin-inny. The pumpkin-inny is coming. I sprinkle that on his food a little bit, and then so he eats really healthy, he eats really good, and then I eat really good, too, because that's all I'm trying to eat too. I've been getting Whataburger every once in a while, but for the most part, it's just been that, and I have like cookies, and you see some other things I snack on. Sometimes nuts, sometimes chips. But I need to get better. I know. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I cut out the burgers and maybe have like one a month or something, or one, every couple weeks or something, but like not, every week or whatever. But and just stick to getting the vegetables and the meats for me and him, water. I get some cookies for myself and milk, and ginger ale is the only thing I drink. Every once in a while I have a ginger ale a day. Sometimes I won't at all. I take my supplements. The supplements are a lot, and that probably takes up a lot of bigger costs. But I mean, I have quite a few of it, quite a bit of it right now, and I want to schedule with a couple of the products. So it's not really a super lot amount of money. You know what I mean? Like if I can make, like I've never made $40,000 in my life. If I can find a way to make at least that much somehow, some way, with my mind and my words, that would be incredible. That'd be just so great. I mean, I'm willing to do whatever. I'm ready. I'll clean toilets. I'll flip burgers. I don't really want to flip burgers like in a fast food place, but in a restaurant or like some sort of like one of these clubs or something. And I can bartend. I mean, that's easy. I don't drink, so it's super easy for me to bartend. And everything out there. I mean, unless it's like a specialty place, but most of the bars you go to it's called most of them are called like, what is it, two drink. It's like every drink is that everybody wants. The name of the drink is in the drink. You know what I mean? It's like a gin and tonic, vodka, cranberry. You know what I mean? So rum and coke, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And it's like not everybody's going out getting martinis and this and that. If they want that shit, there's bars for that. There's like fancy whiskey places, and there's like nice places you have to have like. There's like one of those really fancy places right there on 6th Street where like you have to have like an invitation and like come in at a certain time and and but I had that on my mind and in my art and stuff when I was like, I just wanted to kind of express that. It's like, what I mean, we're not trying to be rich here. I'm just trying to figure things out in my life and pursue my happiness, enjoy myself, and try to bring some joy into some other people's lives. You know what I mean? Because like I know it's like the core of being a comedian is like we got to go out there and make them laugh. But I want to make people like feel good about themselves too. You know what I mean? And like feel good about life and feel good about living. And it's like no matter how rough and hard things can get, there's there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's a reason for everything. You just gotta keep moving forward, keep on pushing. Everything's got a purpose. And everything's got a reason. You just gotta try to find a way to get through your season without too much stress and too much depression and too much anxiety. Just give it to Jesus and just let it go. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's not easy all the time. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're in control of your own happiness. You know what I mean? You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be miserable. And I know some people make it so it's really, really hard for people to be happy. In a lot of situations for a lot of people, I understand that, and it's not very fair. And we just hope that we can strive to come together and overcome those things and help each other out in a better way. And we get the church to remember what the church is supposed to do, and get people that claim to be altruistic and helpful and giving, make sure they put their money where their mouths are. You know what I mean? It's like this is a time of accountability. It really should be. This should be very much a time of accountability, and I think that's the time. That's the thing that's upsetting us the most about this whole situation with Trump and whatnot. Because we know there's some compromising going on with the Israeli government, and there's some compromising going on in other situations, we believe. And at the same time, I'm really hoping and thinking and feeling at the same time he's playing certain people and he's keeping cards to his chest and he's kind of trying to blackmail certain people maybe, and I don't know. I really wish certain things, even though if they're important or whatever, and they might get shut down and ruin a certain function because this person gets fired or arrested. It really doesn't matter. They can be replaced, and when they talk about those things, they're not going to actually fall or fail. So, like I said, somebody else is going to take over and replace it and keep on working fine. So it's like whatever they got holding over his head, and whoever he's in cahoots with, or whoever, it's like what conglomerate is who helping who with, and like which lodge member is helping which lodge member, and which, you know what I mean, and which Mason or which Jesuit or which, I don't know. And then you got all the different mafias, and then you have the WASPs that are in the CIA and all that stuff. It's just a never-ending, perpetual nightmare of corruption of people that just want to get away with doing shit and getting one over on people. It's like giving us all our freedom back and making us all feel better and getting us right back in order and everything, and helping get everybody straight and getting back into a free America where people can realize that they're messed up with all the socialism and stuff. They can see and realize, oh shit, it's actually better this way. But at the same time, it's like, yo, we don't want the corruption anymore. We want the crime to stop. We want the murder to stop. We want the children to stop being raped. I know you're not supposed to say it on YouTube, but we just want that to stop. You know what I mean? We want the human trafficking to stop. And I don't understand why everybody doesn't want to come together and stop that. You know what I mean? And it's like what I said the other day on my streaming when I was talking to that other guy who was agreeing with me and then shot me. It made no sense. He was like, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Because I was like, that's the reason why this stuff doesn't get resolved, is because the people in charge of things are satanic pedophiles. And I just really hope, man, that Trump really understands and knows Jesus and sees the light and really wants to stop, the devil and all these principalities and everything, and don't be tricked and deceived by the, these different mafias and industries and governments and stuff like that. Don't be tricked and deceived by them. Even if they have the sympathy card and they want to play the end times card, they want to play the prophecy card, they want to play all that stuff. Man, we can't let things get out of whack, out of control. We can't just stand by and just let it all happen. We have to speak out about it and say, this isn't right. We should do something. You know what I mean? We have to, because we can't. That's the whole point. Because like I'm saying, we can't just stand by and sit by and just let it all happen. We can't say we didn't try to do everything we could to make a better future and get things right. Because that's what I've been trying to explain to people. It's like we have a hope now. We always have, our hope is in Jesus. wherever direction anything goes in the world, we all have Jesus. Bottom line, period. So, if we have a future of another 2,000 years of great success and building towards the stars, awesome. If we have 7 more years or 12 more years, or tomorrow is the end, it is what it is. Our faith and hope is in Jesus. I rest and rely in Him. I'm just saying we're in a cusp, in a time of humanity where we have a chance to move forward and really progress in a really awesome, cool way, or not. You know what I mean? This could be you know what I mean? Like, this is a really big deal. When they talk about the golden age, and like, I really hope that's real. I really hope we can like flip things around and get things in order and like head towards that direction where we just build and produce and innovate and build towards the future in a great, and build towards that class 1 civilization society. And the only way we get to that class 1 civilization and society is through innovation, and you have to have incentive. You have to have an incentive-driven based society to encourage those to want to strive to do that. Because it's not in everybody's heart to want to, build towards the stars. And sometimes it is for some people when they dream about it, but they're like, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? Like, so you have to have some sort of incentive, because not everybody is going to be encouraged the same way. And that's how you get there, because socialism does not work. No matter how much you want to pretend it and say it, no, you didn't do it right, and you're wrong. It never works. As long as money is a thing, as long as there is an economic system, as long as there is barter and trade, socialism cannot work. Class 1 civilization, that is something different. That is not socialism, because there is no economy. There is no monetary system. The way we get there is when we have unlimited energy and unlimited resources. People are like talking about how you get to that Star Trek future. Star Trek doesn't exist without the replicator. The thing that keeps making food whenever you want to eat food, and have water whenever you want water, and have energy forever, and how they like multiply and build up and and preserve their energy and such. You know what I mean? That's what we have to do, and that's what we're trying to do, and we can't just do that willy-nilly free in the system and society that we have right now. And people don't seem to comprehend that, and they don't understand and comprehend the level. Like, it'd be awesome if everybody thought Christian, like, and wanted to give and love and share and everything. And even if even if it wasn't Christian, they just believed in their beliefs. But their beliefs is also giving love and share, and they actually believed it and did it, and didn't like want to, be greedy and envious and have more than somebody else and just give and nobody want for anything. That would be wonderful if the world worked like that and that happened. That's how it should happen. That would be great, but it doesn't, and that's why socialism doesn't work, and people don't understand that, because people will always be greedy and envious. And so we have to have a system where we have a smarter society where we can crack down on all that corruption and focus on those things. And that's what I hope that our army is focusing on now. And I hope we can band together as a world and really be like, all right, we are cutting all these black market connections off to whatever negative thing that it is harming society, whether it's drugs or trafficking people or whatever it is. But and there's just some basic common sense things that need to be done. And I know there's a lot of people on the right that don't think it's basic common sense, but I've been on both sides of the fence, and on both sides of the fence, I've never had an issue with marijuana. There is no issue with marijuana with me. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, to me, it's like cigarettes. It's just whatever you need to help take your edge off, to help you get through and get by. And that's the only, because that's what I constantly keep trying to say. It's like the ideal society that is most functional, which nothing's ever gonna be perfect, but the most ideal functional society we can have, which America should be, is be financially conservative. You know what I mean? Responsible in that way. And make sure we're spending our money right and helping each other out right and everything, all of that stuff. And funding the things that need to be funded to help protect us. You know what I mean? Not so much, the socialist programs, but they should exist to an extent to appease, whatever we need to appease, especially if we can afford it. But and we should also be socially libertarian. You know what I mean? Just you are allowed to do whatever you want, as long as you're not hurting me. You know what I mean? And don't hurt yourself, man, because you hurt. But you want to? I get it. You know what I mean? Can't really stop you. But I mean, understand there's consequences to everything, and people hurt. People love, and people feel. People think a lot more about people. Like if it, like all these people that I've met out here on the street already, these other comedians and stuff, they might think one way or the other about me, be indifferent, not think two thoughts about me, not care about me, or this, that, whatever. But I've already met all of them now, and I think about them, and you know what I mean? They're in my thoughts now, you know what I mean? So, like, if anything would happen to them, you know what I mean? I'd feel bad. I want to try to help them out in whatever way I could, no matter what. You know what I mean? It's like I just try to make strangers not strangers. You know what I mean? But God bless. Take care. Thank you for your time and patience with me. I guess I just wanted to get a couple things off my chest, and then I just went on a little tyrant rant there. Not tirade, not a tyrant. A little tirade, a little rant. Stupid. This lady called me a dictator one time. It's just stupid. Working at a dental supply company. Oh my god. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, you hear yourself? Like, dude, I'm the one who says, how do you guys want to do this every day? And I'm the dictator. Okay. God bless. Take care. Thank you for your time and patience with me. Till next time. Bye bye.